Well, let's quickly move on now to our top story. A day after the chaos in Parliament, a lot of opposition MPs are now going to the President. They have written a letter. This is the letter in which they have said that the entire process in the Rajya Sabha in terms of the voice vote that took place was rammed down their throats. It is unacceptable. It is unparliamentary. We'll get to our debate in a moment from now, but I'm joined by Dr. Abhishek Manu Singhvi, Rajya Sabha MP. He was actually asked by opposition parties to draft both the no confidence motion against the deputy chair and now the representation of almost all NDA parties to the President. Dr. Singhvi, point number one, ramming legislation down the throat of disagreeing parliamentarians without allowing it to be tested freely and fairly by a vote by division. Legally, is this allowed? Constitutionally, is this allowed? Even if there is one party that says that, look, there needs to be a vote by division, isn't it mandatory for the chair to allow this?
I'm glad we are getting to the specifics and not having noise without proper analysis. Anybody who has been for one day in Parliament knows the very strange sight where there are 99.95 every member in Rajya Sabha or Lok Sabha for that matter saying, please, Mr. Vishnu Shom, don't ask for division because the whole House agrees. There are lots of bills where the whole House agrees or a clause in a bill. But Vishnu Shom may be from Kerala and he wants to make a point privately and publicly. He said, I only want my name to go as somebody who having raised the point. So I insist on a division. And it leads to much mirth and jokes in Parliament that, look, we will bribe you with anything you want not to have a division. Division takes too much time. Everybody is agreeing. Why are you having a division? Even then the law is that the chair is obliged to have a division.
Okay.
Look at the length of the point I'm making.
Right.
Now, yesterday I was in the House. We were, of course, 50% in the Lok Sabha. We are now temporarily, inverted commas, elected to the Lok Sabha. 50% were in the Rajya Sabha. Number one, there were at least 6, 7, 8 people shouting from their seats for a division. The minister started speaking at 20 odd minutes before 1 o'clock or 15 minutes before 1 o'clock. Now, the limit during COVID is 1 o'clock. If you're exceeding 1:10, people are asking for division. When the division was not being granted, then some of those MPs asking rushed to the well, and there would have been disturbance, there would have been unacceptable acts. I immediately concede. But that is after not giving a division despite shouting. The balance continued in their seats and kept asking for division. So the reason given to decline division that people are not in their seats is wrong because form cannot take the place of substance.
Okay, Dr. Singhvi, my next question to you. The bottom line over here is the question of numbers, right? You have argued, all of these MPs have argued in the letter which you have drafted, that look, it is positive proof of the lack of numbers and the lack of support. Are you absolutely certain about this?
Well, the way things happen tomorrow, this is one example. If you have numbers, Vishnu, who is more scared, you or me? Why will you oppose the division if you have numbers? And ask one more simple question. Yesterday, if you worst comes to worst, I can understand that the chairman and the person in the chair felt intimidated. Let me assume that. Simple thing to have done is, let's calm it down. 1 o'clock has happened. We'll have it tomorrow, that is today, Monday. And have a division on Monday. दूध का दूध और पानी का पानी हो जाएगा. It is only if you as a government are scared that you kept on insisting and got the bill passed. I cannot for the life of me understand, and let me tell you, I have the greatest respect for both the chairman and our deputy chairperson. It's not about individuals, it's about issues. Why could the chairman, why did he treat yesterday as the last day as if of the current parliamentary session? What on earth prevented him from having a division today? And how could you at the end of the 1 o'clock or 1:15 we had reached by then, simply say the bill stand passed? I can understand. They're not passed today. We are adjourning the House. We'll come tomorrow.
That said, Dr. Singhvi, do you not condemn the behavior of certain MPs? Irrespective of whether or not Derek O'Brien actually did tear that rule book, he was certainly had it in his hand. He appeared to be doing something with it. Mics were removed. People went up to the chair. Is that acceptable? What happened?
Let me start by saying I don't want to take names, but Derek O'Brien, since the name you have taken, has specifically denied. In fact, he's gone to the extent of saying
you
that
were there. What did you see?
No, I'm telling you. Now, even on what we saw, two things we were made not to see. We saw the head of a person who must well have been Derek O'Brien, showing the rule book and gesticulating with it before the chairman. This is what I personally saw.
Okay.
I saw no tearing. Number two, what the Rajya Sabha TV should have shown and did not show is that within minutes of that, the security personnel called into the Rajya Sabha chamber, not into our Lok Sabha chamber where half of us were, was almost more than the number of MPs in the Rajya Sabha chamber.
But isn't that natural if they're protecting the deputy chair in a situation when MPs have stormed the well, they've gone up to his chair, their mics are being moved, irrespective of whether he tore it or not, I mean, it was an aggressive, right? It was an aggressive move.
I am saying I don't defend wrong behavior, but what about the other three things?
No, sure, you made your point. I understand the constitutional propriety of what is happening is being questioned.
How is there quorum? No, there are two more points in just 15 seconds. How is there Vishnu quorum if half the members are in the Lok Sabha chamber? Our chamber was not asked.
Right.
The chairman didn't look at us. He didn't invite us to participate, to speak.
Right.
Division, people shouting a division here also. Now, that is virtually a lack of quorum. I mean, it's not that just because of COVID you're having in two houses.
Okay.
Therefore, ignore one chamber, not houses, chamber.
Okay, Dr. Singhvi, I need to move on to my other panel. Thanks very much for making the points that you've actually made.